Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host T7. Bringing you guys another stream here. Forza Horizon 5. They went live almost roughly about an hour ago. So I'm gonna be doing a bit of a reaction video like I did last time, kind of tweaking it, like the review a bit and seeing if I can put my input in it and get you guys my thoughts on the review on what's to come. But yeah, let me check if I'm live here real quick. I'm pretty sure I am. And I'm loading into my chat box. But let's go. I'm just gonna tell everybody on Discord here. Doesn't say that I'm streaming on YouTube, which is not a good thing. I'm just gonna skip the introduction here, and let's go to. Oh, never mind. I guess it starts right about there. I guess.
Yeah, so it was probably around about over 18 months ago now, wasn't it? The hardware team approached us and said they really wanted to produce a limited edition controller for Forza Horizon 5, and obviously we were like, yes.
Absolutely.
No, we really.
That was on previous, so they're going back to previous stream. Talked about the cars last time. So right about here, I guess this is it.
Hello there and welcome to another episode of Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go, live with Playground Games. Today we're going on quite the epic adventure, the Horizon adventure in fact, but first, let's do the schedule. So don't let this schedule fool you because there is a whole lot of new gameplay to see as Playground takes us through the early stages of the single player campaign. And you might as well start limbering up those fingers to get your questions into chat for another round of Q&A. In fact, here's a tip, there's a better chance we'll actually see your question if you start typing it now during the show instead of saving it until the end. So get your questions in chat now, everybody. And with that said, I think it's time to welcome today's wonderful guests. Hello, how are you doing? First up, we've got Mike Brown. It is always wonderful to see you, but first of all, what is this new location you're in? Sorry, what's going on?
Hey Charlie, great to be here. This is actually not a new location, this is actually the Forza Horizon offices. It's just up until this point we've been doing our Forza Horizon 5 Let's Go streams from the Fable office on the other side of Leamington Spa. The reasons for that are boring, we won't get into those, but yeah, this is actually the Forza Horizon office. This is where we actually make the game.
We're in the home of Forza now, and joining you on the sofa today is the lovely Ben Baker-Fell. Ben, what are we going to be seeing today then?
Hey Charlie, so today we're going to be doing a deep dive.
Guess that's the new Thrustmaster, I guess.
Horizon 5, really excited to show that off. We're going to talk about the kind of main goal of it, how it works mechanically. We're going to get stuck in, unlock some stuff, and just kind of talk our way through it. Really exciting
Wonderful
stuff.
I can't wait. And lastly, you may have seen a glimpse of him then, but we do have Marco Conti joining us, who seems to have leveled into a full rig just for this show. How are you doing, Marty? Marco, is that a flex on Andy, by the way, I have to say?
Hi, Charlie. Pleasure to be here. This is actually my desk. So today I'm going to be talking about vehicle handling, funnily enough. And I'm going to talk about like what we improved in the handling for Forza Horizon 5.
I can't wait. And I feel like I have to ask.
So there's some improvements for handling. Okay.
Purely based on his performance on the last stream. Between you and Andy, who would win in a race? Real talk.
I'm gonna say him, but I'm lying, so it's fine.
Right, you had me in the first half. Wonderful. Well, as I said on the last show, if you were able to catch it, we showed the initial drive and the very first showcase event. So we're going to set the scene now. Today we're going to be playing on the Xbox Series X as always, but where are we jumping in first?
Yes, so the show 2 weeks ago, we saw the very start of the game. We saw that initial drive, and we saw the first showcase event that takes after that. There is actually a Horizon story chapter that you do after that, which we're not going to jump in today. We're going to pick up right after that and look at the campaign and what happens after that and all the great things that you will get to experience as you play through.
Alright, I'm here. Let's go.
Yes. So, but first we are going to look at the campaign. I've got a controller, I'm going to walk through things, but let me talk about the setup first. Really, like, what is the campaign in Forza Horizon 5? So, its name, nice and simple, Horizon Adventure. And that's exactly kind of how we think about it internally, and I'm sure that's how players are going to really remember this one. It's all about freedom. It's all about the choice of doing what you want, when you want. Previous kind of Horizon campaigns have said, you're going to do this gameplay now, road racing, because we think that's the best at this stage in the game, and now you're going to do some cross-country or some off-road, or we're going to introduce skills and stories. This campaign has kind of thrown most of that out of the window, apart from the kind of early setup that Mike spoke about, and it's largely said, you tell us what you want to do, and we'll give you the tools to kind of make that happen, but in a much more interesting way than we've maybe previously done. And the interesting way is the adventure. So I am going to go to a screen that kind of summarizes all of that, but just before I do, I will say, goal of the game in the Horizon Adventure is to get onto the Hall of Fame. The game doesn't end there.
Okay.
Tons and tons of content. And to get to the Hall of Fame, you have to earn something called accolades, and we'll go into those in a second. But let's have a look at the adventure screen really quickly, because this is one of my favourites. Look at that.
Oh,
How cool does that
so
look?
colourful. Look at that. Sorry, I'm trying to be professional here, but genuinely, that is incredible. I love it.
Tons and tons of fun. Loads going on. Let's have a quick walk through. I mean, I'm getting distracted. Balloons at the top there, cable car, blimp, cars.
We were really excited to see the game map. And we were like, yeah, we'll show you the game map. And we were holding this in the bag. This was we showed the game map.
I mean, chat has just exploded with the words. It looks amazing. It's cute. They love it. So clean. So nice.
Watching
work,
while I'm at the
chat.
bank.
Genius.
Lol.
Right,
That's good. It's all good,
Let's
Noah.
have a look at what you can do. When I speak about going on an adventure and giving players the tools to like unlock the gameplay they want and tell us how they want to play through the campaign, this is exactly what I'm talking about here. We've got Horizon Baja. That's the home of cross-country racing. You unlock this, you unlock the cross-country racing. You'll unlock a ton of other gameplay opportunities as well. Not immediately with that, you'll have to kind of expand that outpost when you do. I can show you a good example. We've already built Horizon Festival Mexico. I mean, technically it was built when we arrived. We're not the architects of that. But let's have a look at the gameplay that's available there. So we've arrived at the festival site. We now have a nice tick for Welcome to Mexico. You've already seen, and we took part in that amazing showcase On a Wing and a Prayer. Car versus plane, but with a twist. We know what the twist is now. And we can unlock a story called Vocho, which is finding and restoring a legendary car. Desperately not trying to unlock that right now, because it is great. And the Goliath, right? What Horizon game is complete without an epic, many miles long race around the map? So you can do all of that at the main festival, and each one of those we call a new chapter. So earning enough accolades unlocks a new chapter, and I can choose to kind of spend my new chapter. Like my new chapter is going to be Vocho, or it's going to be Goliath. Yeah.
The great thing about this is, as we talk about this Horizon adventure, it's that every player really will have a pretty unique path through this game. And when you're talking to other people, they'll be like, oh, so which festival site did you open first? And you might say you've opened up the Apex Festival and you've gone and got stuck into road racing, and that will shape the way your game plays out for a decent length of time after that. But maybe I go to the Wilds Festival and I've gone all dirt racing, and again, that makes that next hour, 2 hours of my game.
Okay, so I'll stop at that and I'll say I kind of like this, to be honest, because this gives a bit more organization in terms of where the events are, as opposed to previous Forzas. I think that it's just a freaking convoluted mess. Like I talked about this with Henry, and it's just like I wish they would have a bit more organization when it comes to the events, and just like having to know which ones are which. Of course, you can always filter the map and filter all the blips and stuff like that, but it's nice that they have it like this in a way so that you don't have to have. Maybe, I don't know if this is taking out eliminating all those blips that you see on the map, because that gets quite annoying, I won't lie to you. Especially when you're trying to find your friend and your friend is like literally underneath the Goliath race or something like that, or a pile of other junk that's on top of it. It's just like a completely messy. And we're trying to locate players. It's an absolute mess. So do locate a bit, it's an absolute mess. So I really do like this. This is actually quite nice. So yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Completely
There
different
you
to
go.
yours, and the opportunities that come after that, because then I could go and unlock different showcase events, different Horizon stories, because I've made that choice. It really does lead to this really sprawling, different split path gameplay that means everyone's adventure through the campaign will be different to each other's.
Yeah, and not just based on kind of choice of I really like road racing or I like dirt racing, but there's different ways that people like to play games as well. Some people, they'll want to open Horizon Apex, and then because they're kind of a completionist, they'll be like, well, I'm doing all of the content there before I move on. Whereas some other people they'll open Apex, then they'll open Wilds, then they'll open Baja, then they'll open Rush. It's kind of giving people the freedom, and we deliver it with this awesomely cute, adorable map. So I think we're going to go on an adventure, and I think we're going to open a new outpost, right? That's the plan.
That's the plan, but we're not there yet. We have to get some action.
And again, actually, just putting it this way, it kind of reminds me of the Motorsport series a little bit, because the Motorsport series has those chapters, those different parts of racing you can just kind of pick. So I kind of like that. So I like how they kind of organize that all together, like they did here.
Yes. Right, you mentioned accolades. What are accolades, Ben? I don't know. I'm sure Charlie doesn't know either. Tell us what they are.
I don't know either. Actually, no, I do know. So let's go through.
Can you turn the volume up on Forza a bit? Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Noah. Let's do that. I don't know where the audio sits at, so I apologize.
What?
Yeah.
Hopefully someone here knows. Marco?
Hands up, I do know what accolades are. So, as you can see at the top of the
Is that
screen,
good? The
it tells us
audios
how
are
we need
okay?
to earn for our next
A little
chapter.
too low, I
So
guess.
we're gonna go
It's hard to
into the
tell when
accolades
I'm
menu, and
got the
we are going
earbuds
to
in, and
see
it's loud enough for me, but I guess not
really
loud for stream.
importantly, thousands of accolades. Caveat here, we're not asking the players, and we don't expect players to complete every single accolade in the game. What we are saying is, whatever you like to do, there'll be a good collection of accolades for you. It might be that you like to do a bunch of racing, and you like to do some PR stunts and some skills as well. It might be that you like to do just kind of online stuff, and we've got a whole bunch of categories in there.
Wow, that's a whole lot of online stuff. Holy shit, 338 online items. Stunts and skills, 467. They put a lot of work in there. 358 for racing. That's a lot there.
That's the kind of beauty of accolades, and they extend beyond the campaign. So once you've reached the Hall of Fame, so you've unlocked everything on the adventure map, and you might think, oh, what else is there to do? Accolades are this beautiful way of having this collection of bite-sized challenges that let you kind of mop up the things that you still haven't done and just extend your game. And I think we'll extend it in the ways we have done with Forza Horizon 4, where we're delivering new content on like a weekly and kind of monthly basis. These will plug into this really well.
Yeah, so it's not super clear as we look at the screen right now, but that little blue bar that you can see just creeping up on the Welcome to Mexico tile there, that is actually a progress bar that fills up and completes the whole thing and completes that whole page.
Yep.
As we stand right now, about half an hour into our campaign, you can see that it's basically all zeros and we haven't done anything yet. And it does at the start of the game fill up quite slowly, but once you've put in that sort of 6 to 10 hours, these all start to get quite near the top, and you're like looking at that Horizon Stories one, going, oh, I've only actually got a few left there, and it's super compelling to just go and finish that off and push them up to the top and fill up those
It's
bars.
very Moorish.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great word for it.
So, Marco loves racing, lives for racing. Marco fancies doing some racing. We'll have a look at racing. Oh no, many locked accolades, and we need to go and build the Horizon Apex outpost. So let's go and do that. Welcome to Mexico is a nice small collection of kind of early game accolades. We have a few, like we've arrived at the festival.
Beans.
We can purchase a car from the auto
Yes,
shop.
beans.
We can also take part in a bunch of routes. If I select this one now, it will pin it to my HUD and set my route, and we can drive to go and do that. But before we kind of go back into game, I'm going to open the map just to explain that one of the main ways to play through a Horizon campaign is to go around and look at things on the map. And I think early campaign, we would expect many players to go through this is the kind of regular Horizon way. Map, piece of content, set your route there, take part in the content. What are you going to do next? Let's take part in this, and we'll go there and do it. But if I go back to free roam now, we can see that we have a pin, Horizon Mexico Circuit Rookie, complete Mexico Circuit, and I think we should head off and do it.
Let's go.
All right.
Take it away.
So Ben's put his controller down now. He's going to stop meddling with Marco's game and let Marco do some driving as we enter the Horizon Festival Mexico. I don't know why we're not playing the game footage, but it looks great, guys. I bet you.
I wish you could see how wonderful this game looks right now. Oh, there we go.
There we go. We've actually driven straight through the festival. Marco, do you want to do a U? Show everyone. I think we're taking a second to get the feed up and running there.
I'm ready.
Corvette C8.
He's going into the race.
Should we
Just
go?
go.
Let's go look at the festival, because we didn't really get a chance to look at it.
Well, at the festival.
Yes, yeah.
Let's go. There was a little blip in the stream there where we didn't get the feed up in time. So
You are
So
right.
which is the festival
this
we're going
our-
to see
is-
then? This
will
is
be-
the main
will be
one.
players' first look at the Horizon Festival Mexico, and it is without question our best festival yet. It's got some amazing features. It's got a drag strip running through the middle of it. It's got an awesome hangout like car meet space, which is called the Horizon Tour. You can go out there, you can show off your cars, you can show off your cool liveries, hang out with the people and group up and go and do some racing. It's also built into an abandoned racing circuit. So all of this like sort of web of roads that you can see now is an awesome abandoned race circuit, or at least it was abandoned until Horizon Festival arrived to breathe fresh life into it. And now, Marco, I'll let you do it now, Marco. If you're going to go drive over to the start location for the Horizon Festival circuit.
You are
heading right
released.
there. I'm gonna go across the field.
Just straight
Yeah,
up
that's
front.
the only
fine.
way.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Corvette in its natural habitat there, going across
Yeah,
the,
yeah, absolutely fine.
the embankment.
It's a bit bumpy. There you go. Arrive there.
All right, and
Okay, so I kind of like this. I'm sort of getting... Looking at this kind of gives me Horizon 1 vibes. I don't know why. I think it's because the sun setting a little bit. It kind of reminds me of Horizon 1 just a little bit. Even though Horizon 1 was just a complete donut. Just a circle. And you just basically have all your garages and everything else around. You just keep going laps and laps and laps. But it kind of reminds me of that area. So I kind of like that idea, how they just kind of kept it together there.
This is where we're
It's
going
a-
to go and get access.
So they give us a practical racetrack to
So
kind
this,
of
I think,
hang
is
out
gonna
in. That's
become
kind of
probably
nice.
people's
Kinda
favourite,
nice.
like, kind of test track. This is where you're going to come to check
And,
out
you know, I can see the drag
check
strip's
out
not even
the
that
cars,
far,
come
so
to
it's
the
like...
races.
Even the last one wasn't
I'd say
far
about
either, but it looked like it was just
half
kind of off to the side a bit.
All of the cars
So,
are focused on
but it
road
looked pretty
racing,
good. This
street
is pretty
racing,
nice.
asphalt
Pretty nice.
surfaces. You're going to bring them here to kind of really put them through their paces.
Are we ready? Can we see
I think we're ready.
I think we're ready.
Yeah, I think we're ready. Any bets on where Marco's going to finish?
Well, he really struggled in rehearsal. So.
I know. Do we admit that our finely tuned campaign balance requires a win? Otherwise,
the way that we have set this up for the demo purposes, yes.
No pressure,
anything less
guys,
than a
huh?
win will actually really ruin the rest of the show, Marco.
You
so
did
really
say
great
you were
win.
better than Andy,
No pressure,
and
absolutely.
Andy won last stream, so I do think, you know, you owe us a win here, Marco.
Well, I'm gonna try my best. So,
As always, you are on a wheel. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah.
so I think what we really did this time is actually investing and improving the wheel experience. And what we did is actually improving the handling and focusing on the force feedback code implementation to actually capture more details and create a whole new experience when you're driving with the wheel. And you can tell right now, I literally lost the back end, and the wheel told me immediately, and I could catch the car quite easily. By the way, I'm on simulation steering and traction control off, so just to make it a little bit tougher. And here we are. I can definitely feel everything that this car is doing. I feel connected with the road. I feel every single detail on the ground. And if I put a wheel on the off-road a little bit, oh, there you go. It feels immediately diverse. And that diversity is different across all cars, across all tires. And that's really important. Actually, really expand the experience and the engaging when you're driving with the steering wheel. And now, let's get back to the race, guys, because I'm still sixth, and apparently I've been told I got to win this race, so got to put some effort in it. Oh, here you go. Another thing, the braking have massively improved. So we're now basically calculating the brake force based on how big the discs are, how many pots there are on the brake disc system. If it's a disc, if a ceramic disc, is a cast iron, is a drum disc. And we also improve a lot the way the ABS system works all up. So modern ABS now, rather than completely cut off the brake when a lockup is detected, actually mitigate and like ease off the brake so you can still preserve some brake pressure and reduce the brakes distance. But these guys are really giving me a challenge, and
They're giving you a
I
go,
really
aren't
need
they?
to close the gap. So now I need to focus, guys, because the Skyline ahead of me is definitely using some turbos. And I'm on an
Ask you some questions,
old-fashioned.
Charlie. Quiz him, Charlie.
Yeah, in fact, you know what? I'm going to go off a little bit here. I think there are a couple of people in chat who are asking, you know, you personally, Marco, if you have a preference of just playing on this camera, because I think some of them would be keen for you to change it. Obviously, I want you to thrive the best way you thrive, but do you have a preference for this camera over the wheel over others?
I do actually. I do prefer to drive from this camera. I think you have a better indication of what the car is doing. But you know, I follow many YouTubers. I'm sure they're following us right now. Bye. And yeah, I really actually, I'm impressed how guys you drive from follow cam, and yeah, touche. I much prefer driving from this camera, to be honest. These or the hood camera is actually another good option for driving with the wheel. You have you feel more connected with the car is doing.
Perfect. So you mentioned that you've improved the brake system. I have to ask, as someone who is sort of, I mean, when I play Forza, I'm very much on the off-road style of the racing and hooning around. So what improvements have you made to off-road handling?
Well, that actually is a very, very big topic. I think higher level, we improved both the suspension and the tires. For the suspension, we actually went to town and improved a lot about the preload spring force, but not only the progressiveness of the damper and the progressiveness of the bump stop as well. We actually have hydraulic bump stop and everything that actually goes in really low amount of detail for what concern the suspension for off-roading and rally as well. Another big improvement we've done to the off-road as a whole is actually we're now simulating the interaction with between the tires and all the different surfaces on the ground. That actually massively changed the way tires feel when you're off-road, depending on if you're on slick or if you're on rally tires or if you are on normal radial tires or bias ply. Every single tire's got a different reaction with the ground, and you can totally feel that through the pad, but now with the wheel as well.
Perfect, I love it. And talking of reactions, we did
All right, so I'll just stop that for a second because just taking in what they said there about the wheel settings. So the wheel settings seem to have done some changes, and that's I'm actually really happy to hear that. Because me and Henry have been talking about wheel settings and how weird they went from Horizon 3 to 4. So, I mean, my wheel is down right now, obviously, but in the future, if I get another one, whatever, I'm gonna get back at it, of course. But you know, that's really good to hear that they've done some wheel setting changes. I noticed they did some ABS changes as well, which is nice. So I'd actually be very curious. Oh, they show the wheel menu. Okay, great. So I'll probably just stop there then. I'll probably just do a bit of a speech through there then if I have to, because I would like to see that actually. The settings.
Second then. So what does that mean, guys in the studios? Are we able to progress?
So you know, very good.
Cheat while they weren't showing the game.
Very good.
But that's okay.
That's okay. Sorry guys.
I just wanted to call it out.
We are, however, now all good, and we're in a position where we can start our adventure.
Perfect, okay.
So, I think we have a feeling where we want to go. There was a lot of talk about Horizon Apex and road racing. Yeah, so let's talk about how we build an outpost. So we don't just select Horizon Apex here and then it just gets added to the world and all the race events are there. No, what we do is we undertake what we call an expedition towards this festival. So here we go. This expedition for Apex is a Tullum expedition, weather a storm on the road to Tullum. So we're going to start this, and we're going to have an expedition become available to us, which we are going to take part in with a little bit of a surprise twist, ideally. But what is an expedition? It's a really nice combination of kind of story and showcase-driven cinematic gameplay, where you'll learn about the environment around you, you'll learn new things about Mexico, and kind of Ramiro will lead you towards the perfect destination for this outpost. So let's unlock that and head back into World.
All right, so we'll leave Marco behind the wheel there.
So Marco's on his way now.
Marco's got to drive about 4 miles to go to the start of the expedition.
Gonna take
that's fine. I got tons of things I want to ask before we get there. So one thing I do want to know is, you know, it's a campaign, so you sort of have to ask the question of roughly how long you think the campaign might take for a player to finish. Obviously, I'm incredibly skilled, so I might be really quick. But what on average are we looking at?
So, because there are so many accolades, and you can do them in parallel, and earning accolades, as we kind of said, they control the speed of your experience. I think giving a really narrow estimate is difficult, but it's going to be somewhere between the 10 and the 20 hour mark for most players. There's 20 chapters to go through, so kind of 20 pieces of content, including the very end, the Hall of Fame, and they should take somewhere between an hour to half an hour each to unlock.
Interesting. Okay, and I want to go back to the accolades very quickly as well. I think it's worth calling out. There was so many in there, and I just want to be clear. Do you have to complete all of those to make it into the Hall of Fame, or is that more of a completionist style play?
Yeah, so you don't have to complete all of them. We don't expect players to complete all of them. Instead, our goal was to give... We wanted to make sure there were a good number of accolades for kind of every Horizon player, regardless of what you're into. So if you're into painting...
Them pen tricks.
Like a huge amount of the other content in the game,
Yeah, I gotta toss my pen around every now and then
there are
here.
a number of painting accolades, but we don't expect someone who never paints cars, who never kind of uploads designs or anything like that, to want to go and earn those accolades. It's fine if they do earn them. It's fine if you're the Horizon player who does everything, but it's not been designed in that way. You can earn the accolades that you want by doing the gameplay that you want, and that will give you enough currency to progress through the adventure, to reach those new chapters and unlock it in the order that you want.
So I'll just pause there for a second, because it kind of reminds me of the Crew 2, because the Crew 2 has that collection section, those three kind of build-ups of collection sections, and as you do things and you earn all these stars, and then you can get more rewards. So it kind of reminds me a little bit like that. So I feel like they've kind of taken a little bit of the Crew 2's bit of a idea there with that, but maybe with their own perspective.
And then you
It's
can
kind
go
of
back
interesting.
and
I kind of
mop
like
everything
that.
up afterwards.
Kind of cool.
Because all you want to
Exactly.
do is keep playing.
Exactly. That's the really nice thing about accolades, is even when you've hit the Hall of Fame and you've unlocked kind of all of the like flagship pieces of content, so the stories, the showcases that Mike was talking about, the new outposts, accolades just... They make your job of looking at what's left in the game and deciding what should you do next really, really easy, because you might
I have
see a
like
whole bunch
3
of
in
content
a
like,
cup
"I
in
wanna
front of
play
me, so if I
Zelda,
drop
what
one,
to
just
do," and
take
then you
another
look
one.
at accolades and it says win all of this kind of piece of content over here, and you're like 90%
I
of
do
the
a
way
thumb
through,
around
and
on the
that's like a
stream.
really easy decision at that point.
Lovely. And I have to ask as well, going back to the exhibitions as well, what was the thought process behind sort of making those? Obviously in the last one in fall we had showcases and remixes and stuff like that. But this is obviously a natural step up from that. So what was it like working on the exhibitions?
That is an interesting question.
It stemmed from Mexico, didn't it? It was
Yeah.
when we settled on Mexico as the host location. When you go and and this sounds a bit silly, when you go and look at the tourist board website for Mexico, they really sell this idea of going on an adventure and going exploring and going and living your next adventure in Mexico. That is a thing that Mexico as a country, Mexican people are really, really proud of about their country. And that was an experience that we thought, oh, how can we recreate that in the game? And we thought, well, we start off in one place of Mexico, and we can kind of have people live out those adventures as they venture out into those different parts of Mexico. So yeah, there's a little bit of showcase in there. There's a little bit of Horizon story in there, but they are really their own brand new thing. And they are I think one of the most exciting bits of gameplay we've ever had. What's more fun about it as well is that, as with everything in the Horizon campaign, you can play it in co-op. And we're going to try and do that right now, which any game developers watching this right now will realise that attempting to do co-op online gameplay months before ship in development servers is high risk. But here we go. Ben, I've invited you to a convoy if you want to join along. Marco's already in. Ready, yeah.
I'm
Marco
keen for
can see
this
me
chat.
there.
You'd better be kind.
I should be along any second.
Here we go.
There we go.
We're doing it. Alright, so that'll take a few seconds to spin up the server. But yeah, all content in the game is playable in co-op, or all the campaign content at least. And unlike in Horizon 4, where getting into co-op with your buddies had some hurdles that you had to overcome in order to get there, we've really tried to make it so that you can play online, you can get into those online sessions as early in the game as possible. So you complete the initial drive that was on last stream, you complete that first showcase event, there's one Horizon story chapter you have to do after that, and then you're connected, you're playing online, you can team with your friends. It takes about, I guess that's about 25 minutes, maybe even a bit less than that.
Yeah.
And then you're teamed up, and from that point, you can team up with your buddies and take on the entire rest of the game together, including an expedition, as we are about to do right now.
Yeah, about to do flawlessly. This
Not that I recall of. I don't think so. I don't see a lot of games really go into kind of co-op stuff, I guess.
You know, I think it's
I haven't seen it personally.
Like previous,
So I know that you guys are talking about risky showing what they're doing with co-op stuff, and I guess they would lose the audience by doing that. And or maybe people's criticism will be, I guess it's a shoot in the dark, I guess, for them. I haven't really seen many. Again, I don't really watch a lot of gameplay reviews, or watch a lot of streams like this, but I don't think too many have. No.
Now really gonna have to
Cash off multiplayer.
And there's
Yeah, I'm listening.
But I think in the previous Forza they might have shown it, maybe not. I think it's maybe might be the first time they've done it. I can't remember if they did last time.
To expand the festival, but the path takes us through the deepest part of the jungle. Do you trust me?
Of course. Wait, why would I not?
Then follow the road. I will guide you from the air. And pray the weather holds. Is it just me? Or does that sky
I
look
love the chat.
glorious?
Oh no, yeah. No, I definitely don't see this as other games. No, I don't really see it as much. I can't give out many examples of this. Somebody's probably gonna say, "Oh no, this game did that, and this game." No, I can't really give it that many examples because I really just mainly follow the kind of the racing vibe. But no, I can sort of agree with you there. I think just in certain things, I'm pretty sure that not really many go as far as this. No. So I would say at least Forza's trying. I mean, they kind of have to. I mean, like, especially what has been like so far, like a lot of people are kind of a little bit annoyed with certain things, and kind of just we want to see this. Like I think they understand that they're really on pressure for this. They really have to execute this and sell this as hard as they're doing it right now, to kind of try to reach as many as they can, right? I guess.
You're doing okay up there?
I mean, hey, I'm really not still impressed with it yet, but that's just me. And of course, that me and Henry have also have our opinions too.
Oh,
But that's just but the majority of us, right? Of course, last time I said the things I said over stream, and I do feel like as if they're trying to sell this to a certain audience, and I feel like they're just kind of pushing the kind of previous fans kind of back a bit, and they're just not really listening to them as much, and that's what I feel. But the fact of the matter that they did some wheel changes, that's nice. I think they're considering something, so that's good.
I'm down next to some kind of flooded temple. I'll send them a flare. No one's been here in a while. Look, even the excavations are abandoned.
Yeah.
Expedition to a lost
Again, this is them just trying to make as much of the sales pitch as they can. I really feel. Because they want to sell this game, right? They don't want it to tank. But, I mean, they're not getting my support. So, not really getting my full support like they have in the last previous years I've done. That's because I'm pissed off with them. But, you know what I mean? And obviously a lot of us older fans are definitely filling the same boat. I can guarantee a lot of people will not be impressed with this. Maybe the wheel settings they're trying to get people with the wheel settings, but we'll see.
Rami in his plane, we were heading out towards the jungles, but we found this.
But this is what like modern game companies do in this current time. I really feel like a lot of people, a lot of gaming, especially modern days. There's my other pen. Especially nowadays, that will try to overhype the game a little bit. And when you get it, you just feel underwhelmed. It's like feel a bit, this is not as good as I wanted it to be or what I was expecting. You know what I mean?
Just the place for that Horizon Pulse radio beacon.
Yeah, so I really like the change of pace in this. It's one of my favourite things about expeditions. These exploration zones, I think they're just really nice to really soak in the atmosphere.
beacon is up and transmitting. Work.
Yeah,
Now
so we've
at
got
least
that
someone
list of
knows
challenges
where
on
we
the side
are.
of the screen there. They are optional. You don't have to do them if you just want to blast through and get back to the drive. But it's definitely more fun if you do them.
Absolutely.
So I've found the.
So those things on the side, I don't know if they will show it or not, but maybe it'd be best to actually tuck those away because I would hate to see that on my left side of the screen. That kind of reminds me of like how Fallout does their stuff a bit. They just have a nice little freaking massive list. I don't really like seeing that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like to be reminded about my objectives because I just want to just be immersed with the game. So I don't like seeing that too much.
I want to join in.
I hope that doesn't stay on the screen. I hope there's a way to take that off because that'd be kind of annoying. Because then I would I'll be seeing my friends, drifting, and I'm trying to judge their line, especially try to get tandem, and I see this on the side of my screen. That's not very good. That's a distraction right there.
Want to take it?
God damn.
Nicely. Oh no, Marco's
Do it.
he's
Struggling.
he's doing his own
Guys,
thing.
it's not that easy.
All right, here we go.
There you go.
Let's get this lined up nicely.
Photo mode. Here we go.
One to remember the
Oh,
screen.
look at that.
Oh, my earbud went.
That's a great shot.
Freaking earbud just
Clarify
came
that you
in
should
here.
definitely not read anything into that number on screen right now.
Mhm.
That is very much from a dev build and not a thing that you should read too much into.
If you want to go back, I just
Right.
saw that.
let's-
If you want to see that screen again, picture mode, it's just cause just kind of missed it for a second.
All right. Here we go. Let's get this lined up nicely.
So they got the same old options here.
Yeah.
They didn't really go into effect modes of what they have. Now I noticed a couple of times also when we take photos in Horizon,
That's a great shot.
frickin' you still get the rival shots and shit like that. I hope that they
Clarify
fix
you should
that
definitely
bug
not read
because that's
anything into
fucking
that number on
annoying.
screen right now.
Really, absolutely annoying.
That is very much from a dev build and not a thing that you should read too much.
Oh, and also the tires too. Tires turning in the right direction. That's also another problem too. That me and Noah there, we kind of freaking bumped into because we're just counter steering, right? And then when we press the picture button, the tires automatically straighten out, and then all of a sudden, yeah, it looks like your car is just doing this. It's just sliding with no counter steer. There's just nothing there. So I hope they fix that too.
So nice.
That's a mess. It's like I would like to have it where you take the picture and you're just counter steering in the right direction, right? So
Don't touch it. It's very
I
powerful.
think we found another. My buddies, however.
hope they do fix that. That was quite annoying.
I thought you wanted to get to the top of the central ruin. That's what you said. So
I
I'm
did,
here, I'm
I
waiting
did,
for
I
you.
did, and then the shiny things, Mike. Shiny things in the corner of my eye. You can't not go for shiny things. Oh, it told me to take a picture. Here we go.
It's for the story mode. It's part of the
Just right
campaign.
on the top.
It won't be like that in normal driving. Okay, I hope not. Yeah, that'd be good.
Over this pair of you.
Fun out there. We'll check it out later. There's the plane and our exit.
Very good. Nicely done, everyone.
Here we go.
And it is not over yet.
So what's the next step then? Where do we go from here?
So we're collecting Rami, as we saw earlier on. If you pick up the feed, guys, I know it. The Rami had to take an emergency landing. We had to then go. We kept him waiting a little bit while we explored the temples, but yeah, we went and picked him up, and we carry
Ooh.
on. I'm
Bruh.
sure it's fine. That's nothing to worry about.
It's nothing for these cars, is it?
So we accidentally fell through that hole. We've landed in this little cave, this little cenote.
Yeah.
I was like for a second I was like, no way did they add like cars falling apart, and actually like I was hoping, I was kind of thinking they would just kind of like go into a first-person adventure and then I don't know, something stupid would happen, like go find another car or something because they just crashed into the pit there. Oh my god, I guess not. They just did that. So
You should just follow us. You should just stop
Beans.
so slow. And
If you can see each other, this storm is insane.
again, Forza still hasn't added that feature, at all. Let's kind of, we would like to get out of our cars and roam around them, kind of like, test drive or something like that, but still not yet. I don't think we're ever going to get that, because I think that's just not Forza's execution for anything, in general. So, again, another year we don't see that at all, most likely. So that would have been cool to at least have, like, that's what I was thinking for a second. Oh, we just crashed our car, maybe we gotta go find another car. I don't know, be like some sort of adventure thing, I guess, I don't know. But that's what was sort of thinking. But everybody would like to have that, I think. Everyone would like to have the ability to get out of their car and kind of venture around, but no. At least maybe keep it in like in a certain zone or something, I don't know. Kind of just shooting ideas out there.
you okay, Charlie?
That lightning is going to make me jump every time I see it. In real life, I'm not a big fan of lightning, but that is...
Yeah, of course they won't. They never have, right? But, it would have been kind of a surprise if they did, right? And I guess some people, and I know that Slaptrain's mentioned that, it would have been cool that one day it'd be cool that they'd be like Test Drive. It'd be nice, but I guess not. That's what Test Drive is for. So, still can't wait to see Test Drive stuff. Though they're not doing any gameplay like this. That's for sure. Obviously, they're kind of further out there though. They're a longer wait. So maybe they might do something. Maybe they're not. It probably might just be a release and just trailers and stuff like that. It probably won't be as extensive as. So actually, that's right. Going back to what we said earlier, that's actually a very good example. I guess in comparison to Test Drive Unlimited, for instance, that series. Even though we waited 12 years for that, over 12 years waiting for that series, they're definitely not doing anything like this on a marketing level to kind of like really capture our attention on the gameplay. I guess we just kind of have to assume that they kept it at the same base that they did. So I guess Forza, in a way, in that matter, Forza's really trying to throw it as much as possible to get our attention.
Here we go.
You made it. Nothing
I'm pretty sure they do even like they'd probably ignore, if not, they probably do listen to some of the angry fans for sure. They have to,
Plane.
and I guess they
I
try
love the
to
plane.
execute that as much as possible to try to target their
That was
audience,
incredible.
what they
That
want to
was
say.
so- I see what
I
you
would
mean about
assume
it
that
being like a
they can't just
step
ignore all of
up
us. There's
from the
just too many of
showcase,
us.
isn't it just being so
So-
much more than that?
Yeah, and I think the great thing about expeditions as well is that they are all completely different from one another. Each time you set on one, we're not going to spoil any of them right now, but each time you set on one, it's like you really have no idea what to expect. They're full of surprises.
Forza
full of
creators,
absolute
don't it?
dominance.
Beans.
Yeah,
So no walk around.
We're gonna try and keep
So no
the
walk
on
around.
so that people can experience them for themselves when they get the game in November.
Sounds good. Got that first one to sort of.
Yeah, I mean,
tight. So what's it's
Well,
what's
I mean,
now that
we'll see what happens. I mean, like.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job with this stream right now, but until we actually get to the game, I wonder how it's going to be really like, to be honest. Because like obviously, I'll put like car expectations aside, because that is usually never so good. I'll put that much. Really never so good.
So we've previously
Beans.
had a look at accolades.
I wonder who's going to do it next. Yeah.
Why don't we? Should we head back there and have a look at what's been unlocked, or should we go through the map? Because the two kind of ways you can play the campaign, really.
I think we should go through the map for now.
Alright.
For now.
I know of a really nice circuit up on the east coast that I think we should go and find.
All right.
So
I think you've got control of Marco's
I
map,
do.
so,
I was looking at you thinking you had control, Mike, but I've got control. Right. I will set a route there and let Marco drive us along the way.
All right.
Perfect. I've also got more questions to ask for Marco about this wheel as well. Specifically, you know, you say that that's your desk, that you live in it. I feel like you're the expert to answer this question, but has the wheel experience and force feedback been improved?
Yes, it has definitely been improved, and it has improved as a consequence of working on the force feedback itself, but also looking at all the micro details that we were missing in terms of calculation of force feedback, and now we definitely like improved a lot in terms of what you feel through your hands.
So I can stop it right there. That's a complete confession that they were missing things in Horizon 4.
For example, now
Without a
I'm
doubt they
on the
were.
asphalt right here, and why the surface actually feels a little bit bumpy. You can also feel some bumpiness coming through the wheel as well, because all the micro oscillation happening on the tire that gets transferred into the steering rack. That is actually really cool. It actually makes you feel connected with the road. But not only, the force distributed on the wheel, we're calculating all the alignment torque, so I can definitely feel what the car is doing, if I'm having understeer, oversteer. Everything, it feels so natural and intuitive and engaging to drive with the wheel now.
Amazing. I love it. I mean, we also, you're probably the guy to answer this question as well. We also recently unveiled the Mercedes AMG and its multiple driving modes. So I want to know what they do to the car and if you can share a bit more insight into that.
So the driving mode is really complex, but basically what we've done is actually mimicking everything that's happening on the real car. So when you change in the mode, you can basically switch from proper downforce, biting, grip, with the correct front aero balance on the car to a more relaxed cruising experience.
Yeah, you know, Marco's doing a great job. This guy definitely.
That happens.
I'm very pleased with this description amount of effort that he's putting into this.
So we really went
They brought the right guy here. They definitely brought the right guy here.
That the car in the real life do in terms of drive mode. It changes the experience, it changes the feeling, it changes the actual physics of the car, and you can really transform when you're driving it.
Amazing. And I'm going to ask again, because I think I've noticed in chat some people have turned up a little bit late. How dare you guys, by the way? We've been going for 40 minutes. I wondered if you could just let people know who have just joined chat how you have actually improved and overhauled the brake system.
Yes, so...
Whilst also trying to win this race.
You're asking
Simple
me a
job,
lot
I'm
today.
sure. I know.
Hey, if Jeremy Clarkson can do it, he can do it too.
Anyway, no, the way the brake system has improved is actually now we looking at the brake system itself as I said before, we have now like a more data-driven calculation for the brake system as a separate entity. It's like its own entity rather than calculating the grip as a result of the grip of the car, if you see what I mean. So as a consequence of that, and I think our fan will actually love it. Now when you go and upgrade your weak brake car, you see a much bigger jump with the upgrades, which is cool. You can really transform, you know, a bit meh car in terms of braking to a phenomenal racing car performance braking now. And that's all thanks about the new brake system. The feeling of braking is more intuitive to drive.
Oh,
you
hang
can
on.
judge.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. One of my parcels arrived, so hang on. Sorry for the interruption. Let's see here. Let's get back on the stream. Rip T70. No, she wasn't angry. No, she wasn't. She's just trying to get my attention. Lol, everyone heard that on stream. No, one of my parcels arrived from Amazon, so I got delivery a package, so... Woo! Okay, hang on. Let's get back at it. I apologize for that. My deepest apologies for that. Alright, carry on. The goes.
The brake distance, you can ease off the brake
Sick.
and actually use the trail braking to let the car rotate a little bit more in towards the corner, and it's just better overall, and it feels nice, it's more fun, it's more authentic.
I want to go, since we had that little bit of interruption, I'm just going to go back and redo that. Let's do back a little bit, just a wee bit.
Like its own entity rather than calculating the grip as a result of the grip of the car, if you see what I mean. So as a consequence of that, and I think our fan will actually love it. Now when you go and upgrade your weak brake car, you see a much bigger jump with the upgrades, which is cool. You can really transform, you know, a bit meh car in terms of braking to a phenomenal racing car performance braking now. And that's all thanks about the new brake system. The feeling of braking is more intuitive to drive. You can judge better the brake distance. You can ease off the brake and actually use the trail braking to
Espresso wheel.
the car rotate a little bit more
Oh boy.
into the corner.
That looks so good.
It's better overall.
That wheel looks so
Feels
damn
nice,
good, I'm not
it's
gonna
more
lie.
fun.
Not a fan of the kind of top chop there, but I like Espresso.
And
Espresso
you're
is
making
sick.
it look very good as well.
Now I'm trying to win
must
as well.
say.
So
I mean, Michael, Ben, can we get a little bit of context on what this race is that we're doing here, where it is on the map, and also if anyone else has just joined us?
Yeah, so this is the player
You pushed the guy.
circuit. It's just a little bit north of the festival that we just opened out on the East Coast.
Rip T70.
just cuts
I just realized
through
Peter said that, Rip
players.
T70.
There's this real
No, I'm good,
tropical
guys.
paradise out on the east coast of the map. It's an absolutely beautiful place. And how much does this just look like that? A perfect holiday resort. And it's got a
I do like the
great
palm
setting as
trees.
well.
I will say that I really do like the palm trees. I personally, I think that I can be able to like replicate some retro wave vibes with this. Like if I take some in-game photos, I could definitely make a lot of retro wave vibes with these palm trees. I really like that. Really like that scenery.
One of my favorite circuits.
Could easily maybe get like a Miami Vice vibe easily.
So, yeah,
I just need to find some nice buildings and then kind of mimic Miami Vice a little bit. Get a white Testarossa. You see what I'm saying? Like, just kind of like that. I definitely get those vibes with the palm trees.
Most traction control off, so everything makes a little bit more engaging.
So I'm happy to see there's palm trees.
I can add to that. Kind of Mike spoke about where this is geographically, how beautiful it is, and how fun it is to drive. Completely agree with all that. And in terms of gameplay, this we're enjoying the fruits of the fact that we did the expedition and opened the new festival outpost, and it was road racing. And this is a new road racing event that we've got, complete with tons of new accolades to earn to start kind of unlocking more chapters.
I think that's the thing I'm the most excited about. I mean, as someone who is very much trying to get to the finish line of Forza Horizon 4 at the moment, which, by the way, guys, happy to report I only have 8 achievements left in the whole game, and the drift ones are nearly done. I'm getting there. The idea of actually having a whole new map, but also with the addition of these accolades, it feels
I just
like
got rims that cost gold for my Mustang in the crate. Nice.
If you get the premium
Nice.
bundle.
It's
And
very
there's
good.
so much for me to dive in and sort of access, but I can take it at my
Definitely
own
drop
pace and
a
do what I want on any
DM
given
there
day.
if you
Is
have
that
to.
right?
Let's see those rims,
Yeah,
boy.
I-
Let's see
I
those
think
rims.
That's a really good summary of it. If Mike doesn't mind me using a term he uses with me quite a bit when we're talking about the game kind of behind the scenes, snackable is the term he uses, and that is really a very good way to describe the kind of campaign. It's really snackable. You can drop in, you can do a tiny piece of gameplay, which is like we're kind of showing here, one race, get a couple of accolades from that, maybe more if you've done some bonus ones while you've been driving. Or you can kind of
Filthy, Marco. Filthy.
The man got deep with the GTR. Man got deep with the GTR. I won't lie to you. You cut him real good.
Made it, see it?
Damn.
Well, wonderful.
Sorry,
That
Hey,
was
you gotta do what you gotta do,
yeah,
man.
go
Come on.
Crack on then. What are you saying?
I was talking about, what was I talking about? Snackable campaign?
Snackable nature of
Yeah.
campaign.
Earn a few accolades from completing and winning a race, or you can sit there and you can decide, like you were saying, Charlie, about you've got a handful of achievements left and then you're going to kind of complete everything. You could look at an entire category like racing or kind of skills and stunts and decide that's what I'm finishing this weekend, and I'm just going to sit down and kind of steadily go through them all. That might happen after you've hit the Hall of Fame. I think that's probably the way I would recommend that people play through the game.
Horizon 5, like Horizon 4, is a massive game with absolutely tons of features and content. And honestly, we don't really expect any one player to do it all. That isn't really how we make the game.
I will. Watch this space.
Well, I hope you do, Charlie. I mean, I probably will as well, but it's...
You look good with gold, not gonna lie.
Player who's just downloaded it on Game Pass. We don't
Gold
expect you to be
tires for
sitting
and on
hundreds
gold.
of hours necessarily to complete every single accolade in the game.
Gold tinted.
But what we do hope is that every time you do play the game, even if it's only for 10 to 20 minutes, that you feel like you were rewarded. You had a really nice piece of gameplay that was really fun, enjoyable. You felt you get some progress. You unlocked something new. You had a little bit of progress towards the next goal that you're working towards.
I did notice the guy got the Bach mono right off the bat. pretty. Just give it away, you know. Just give you a freaking track car like that, just right off the bat.
You can sink hours and hours into it and make a load of progress.
Kind of noticed that earlier.
You will also get that reward if you're just.
Hopefully the rewards will be better. Hope we don't get like a shit ton of clothing.
No, I think this is
I haven't
really
seen the
good
wheel
way,
spins
actually,
yet, so I don't know
to
if they're going to
progress.
talk about that or
So
not in this
just for the
stream or not.
campaign,
But
we've seen literally a couple
wheel
thousand
spins would be another
accolades that we have
cool
at the
thing to
moment.
see.
And we've even dived into some Horizon Festival sites, but I wanted to bring up the car collection screen before we move on to the Q&As.
Car collection screen, here we go.
So make sure your questions
This
are
should
in
be
chat
good to
now
see.
if they aren't already. So what is the car collection screen?
Before we go, any questions for Marco? Throw them at him. Any physics questions,
Yes.
handling questions, anything
Get
at
him.
all? Go deep as you like.
Okay, I gotta stop. I gotta inspect the builds, okay? Gotta inspect the builds. This is the most important part for me is the cars. I think the most important part for anybody is the cars. Alright, so we obviously have some GTRs here. Fairly Z is coming back. Another GTR. GTIR. Never seen this one before. Okay, we got the S13, good. R33, good. 240, good. I don't know. I mean, I'm. It's funny. We automatically start with the JDMs, but I want to scroll back. I saw a minor, I guess.
Screen.
Before we go, any questions?
So, the Morris Minor is going to be a Horizon Edition car. Was never a fan of these. The Napier is coming back. The Napier is coming back. This is the aircraft engine car from the 1930s there. I fucking love that thing. I actually souped this sucker up. It's fucking phenomenal sound on Horizon 4. I fucking love it. Heavy as shit, but it's cool. I fucking love it. Great fucking
For Marco, throw them at him.
great thing. But then again, I'm after the old bitches, so you know what I'm saying? As Noah described, oh, we're getting the old bitches now. I'm usually after the old cars anyway, but yeah. So, but no, this is pretty good. Pretty good lineup we got here. We see a prize unlock here, so maybe that's probably like when you complete something or all of something, because they had that last time too. The Mustang Boss 302, unfortunately, was okay. So you know what? That's actually a good thing. So if it's for purchasable, maybe they fix it this time. Maybe they'll fix it this time. Maybe when you complete it, you'll be able to get it again and get more than one. Or I hope they fix that, because it wasn't nice the fact that you only could get one Mustang Boss 302 for completing the drift master working the drift events, getting all 3 stars on all the events.
So as we think about the campaign, we've talked about the kind of initial experience, the accolades, the adventure. All of that stuff carries you through the game from hour 1 to hour 2.
Okay, I see. So you can unlock them with cash if you have.
People are going to play the game for hundreds of hours.
Holy shit, these guys got.
Try and unlock
Damn.
all of the hundreds of cars that are.
Okay, that's a new one. That's a new one.
Available in Forza Horizon 5. And for
We
those
got here.
people, the car collection is the perfect place for them. You're getting a look at it now. It feels a bit like a sticker book or card collection.
Fair Lady Z. Damn. Okay, so there's 2 Fair Lady Z's then. You notice one. Notice one here.
5. So
what's the difference? Okay, so 432. And there's another one below, so just different variation model? Or it's the same one? I'm confused.
All of that stuff carries you through the game from hour 1 to hour 2 to hour 10. But as I just mentioned, some people are going to play the game for hundreds of hours. Some people are going to set out to try and unlock all of the hundreds of cars that are available.
I think the rewards would be slightly better. Yo, the Pulsar GTIR.
Is the perfect place for them. You're getting a look at it now. It feels a bit like a sticker book or card collection.
Yeah, that's a great vibe actually.
I actually do like this. I like I do like the layout of this.
Each card is represented by.
Okay, so Pagani SNK Roadsters on the R. Wyra. So okay, the Wyra is going to be a Horizon edition. And then we got a redeem reward. Okay, so 4 Paganis. Again, I would love to see the old. I like the older Paganis, the ZF, the 05 specifically. I have never seen it in any Forza except for maybe the older ones. Maybe I'd like to see that make a return.
To your garage, you'll see it flip over and get added into your collection.
Peugeot, Cuda. Ooh, okay. I'm already okay. I'm disappointed already. I don't see a Plymouth Fury here. I do not see it, and I hope the Fury is this. I hope the Plymouth Fury is this. I'll be really sad that Christine did not make a return to this game. Be very sad about that. Because I love that car to death. I love the 58 Plymouth Fury. Pontiac! Woo!
With Nissan.
Alright, here we go. This is my favorite section. Pontiac section. Alright, so we got a 65. We got a 77 Firebird. An 87. Oh, yes, they're bringing the Horizon Edition. I hope this is actually kitted like the Forza Horizon Edition in 7. It probably won't be, judging by I'm looking at the 2 here. It's got the scoop on it, so probably not. But there's a Forza Edition Pontiac Firebird. I fucking love that. Yes, that's gonna be my first car. Hopefully, I get it at the first try. Porsche. Here we go. Porsche. We're going to see what we got here. Okay, so we have the 914. That was a championship limited car. It's worth like 14 million on the auction house currently on Forza. So it's good that I hope this is actually well, we're judging by the collection here, so I don't know if this is for purchases or not. But I hope that this is not a freaking single out car like it did last time. Probably won't be. Probably rotated it this time. So 944 is back. Yes, I fucking love the Porsche 944. What else we got here? 959 Rally's back. Good. We have a regular 959. Good.
For completing them all.
There's some modern Porsches. More modern Porsches.
if we just click through the
Again, the Cheyenne and nobody likes. The newer one and nobody likes. So
unlock a few of them.
some
You can see
similar
the
stuff here.
exclusive
in previous
Porsche that can be
Forza.
unlocked there as well. Also, a cool feature.
I'm gonna check the comments. My comment box keeps turning off my phone here. Yeah, so the different cars haven't all been coded in right. Okay, I'm starting to build on my S15, Torque Drift 28K kit, another 26K on parts. Damn, dude, dumping money in that car.
Of the car collection screen is that you can just hit Y and purchase a car with a click of a button, and
That's
just
good.
like that, you have spent 1.5 million credits.
Well, my Forza hub is gonna come in handy again.
God, it's not
Don't
that
empty-
easy in real life.
Ooh. Okay, I've not seen this one before. I haven't seen it yet, so that's gotta be a new one.
As I say, this is it's a lot of fun throughout the game, but it really comes into its own really late game once you've sunk in loads of hours and you've got loads of cars already.
I was kind of hoping to see. I don't see it yet, but I was kind of hoping to see the Martini. There's a new Porsche Martini car. It's in Crew 2. They put it in Crew 2, but they didn't put it in here yet. So I was kind of hoping to see that, but I don't see it. Not yet. Maybe it will come in later down the road.
Just as you look at Porsche there's only 3 that you need to complete the set. It's so compelling to just add them all to your garage and get them all. And then if we're doing so,
Still got
you get
space here.
yourself
Probably not going to
a
include
solution
anymore,
and
but or maybe they will. We don't know.
Wonderful, very good.
that's
And I have
car
to ask,
collection.
Radical,
Is
only
it
one.
certain
Time for
chat is.
questions?
Yeah, I was going to say, but with one very important one here actually, because the chat I can just see out the corner where it's burning at me. Fans have obviously been very, very eager to see a car list. So, is there any update on when you'll actually be able to share that?
Sure, yes. So obviously you just got to see a load of cars there, and I'm sure everybody will be scrubbing back through that and scribbling down for their notes. Another
I basically just did.
game is our social channels.
I don't see enough Pontiacs there. That's my opinion. I'm a little disappointed there's not enough Pontiacs in there, but then again, there's always a lacking there. But they brought back the 68, and I hope to God they bring it back in here. They probably will, maybe not. I don't know. But that's I mean, again, a little bit low.
Forza Horizon
A little bit low
Twitter,
on the car
and
section there.
Forza Horizon official on Instagram. You go there right now. I think we're dropping updates today. There'll be loads of new cars getting announced, and then the
Ooh.
streams
Okay, so maybe I gotta take a look at that later.
are also a great place to come for that information. So yes.
But it's funny, I don't really use Twitter at all. I really don't. Like, I go in there if Slaptrain has a contest or something. I'm not even kidding when I say that. Like, I don't go into Twitter, so fuck Twitter.
socials, check out these streams.
So maybe I have to do it just for the one time to go check on Forza's shit.
Into the game.
But,
I understand
yeah.
a lot of cars are about to be announced over on those social channels. So check
Ooh,
those
well, there you
out
go,
today.
everyone. Perfect. Right. So now is for arguably my favorite part of the stream, because the questions you guys.
So they're
asked are
leaving.
significant.
So they're leaving the car stuff out of this. They're putting it on the social media page. I don't know why they're doing that. Kind of would have been nice to bring it in the stream anyway. I mean, people want to know right then and then. They don't want to go look at another spot and like, okay, this is what's happening. I kind of don't like that,
Better
but
mind, let's be honest. Up first, we're going to take the questions.
maybe because the list is so
from chat
large.
that
I don't
we're
know.
sending over today, and the first one comes from.
But really, I mean, what else could they really
Hi,
leak out for
it says,
cars? I
"Hey,
mean,
can you tell us if
like on the
clothing
spot, I
items will
guess, on the
still
fly, I
be
guess.
in
Maybe it is, the list is too big, or they just want to do one or two cars by. Maybe better off doing that way, just showing it on the stream. You know?
So the answer is.
Sorry if I'm
is-
butchering that.
The answer to the question, the short answer is yes. The longer answer is yes, but you will now be able to purchase all common and rare clothing items with credits. So there is a
Oh, thank God, dude. Because like, if we get that in the wheel spin, and I'm just seeing there that the wheel spins are still in here because there was a wheel spin thing. So if we do get that, we can freaking narrow it down. I'm not gonna get some leopard fucking pants instead of a fucking, you know, a good example would be a Firebird, for instance, because I can't. I honestly, there's been so many times where I've gotten clothing when I'm like, oh my God, it's so close, I'm about to get that Pontiac. Nope, get a fucking leopard pants, man. That's what I always wanted, leopard pants, man. I didn't get the Firebird, you know.
buy.
So it's good you can take that crap out of it pre-hand. So I might just buy all the clothing off the fucking bat and say fuck it,
Such activities.
just so I can narrow down those fucking wheel spins.
So
That's
the
if they
next
put the
question
clothing in the
comes
wheel
from
spins.
Cockney Charm
Maybe they didn't this
says,
time. Maybe they
what has
did.
been your
We'll
favourite
see. We'll
car to
find out
drive
when
on
the
your
game comes
favourite
out.
road so far in Forza Horizon 5, and this goes to the room. Any of you can answer this one.
I think we should let Marco lead on this one.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I think the circuit is actually phenomenal, and you can really bring like any car you especially road car, I think is really, really good, especially when you get into driving S1 and S2 class car. It's really, really good fun. And also, it's really good for drifting. You can really connect all the corners right there and actually create a proper drift. So, go for it.
Wonderful, very good. Next question from chat comes from Elite Sergio, who says, is Abraham, in brackets, voice actor, working on the Spanish version of the game too?
What a great question. Yes, he is. So Abraham Vega he provides the English/Spanglish language version of the character, and also the Spanish version of the character in the Mexican Spanish and regular Spanish versions of the game.
Yep. Wonderful, lovely. Next question from chat is from Kyle Fed, who asks, are weekly weather changes coming back? I think we've answered this one on a previous stream, but it's always good to reiterate.
We have, you're right to say, answered this on previous streams, and the answer was yes. Seasons will still change every week, and with that, so will the weather and the world around you.
Perfect, lovely. The next question comes from JLMC McDowell, who says, will barn finds be more complex or harder to find? And will there be more of them, or will there be other exploration challenges? There's a few questions in that one. They've really packed it in.
A real multi-layered question.
Yeah, there really is.
I can, right, I'm trying to remember the questions. It sounded like, will barn finds be more complex or harder to find?
That's the one.
To answer that honestly, you'd have to kind of ask the person how hard did you find the original ones in the first place.
Yeah, that's a bit subjective, right?
I think it's fair to say that we're not... Barn finds are a really nice feature, and we're never planning on making that more complex in the beauty of finding a kind of amazing old car hidden away in the world.
I would say a slight twist on it this time is that a few of them unlock in different ways. So one of them you unlock as part of a Horizon story. If you're paying close attention, you'll notice that during that expedition, as it was Ben who we were following at the time, as he took that jump off the top of the temple, he had such a view over the jungle that he was able to spot a barn, and that gets added to his map. So when we finish that expedition, you can then go back and find that one. And there's a couple of others that have, I guess, interesting discovery criteria.
I'll just say something. I hope they give us a different rotation of cars for barn finds. I hope they give us completely different cars in general, like not just cars that have been reused in previous Forza, and now they're just kind of switching them around and say, okay, well, this wasn't a barn find in this game, let's put the same car in this game and put it, say, hey, barn find. No, give us completely different cars, people. I hope they actually do that. I've had a bit of a pet peeve with that. It's like, well, this car was just a regular car. It was a purchasable car. You know what I mean? Like, they should actually make that a thing. Just make different cars for the barn finds. I hope that they give us a nice, good variation of barn finds. And I hope they actually, when they put the auction house up, I hope they don't freaking just pile up all the cars like they did before. With all the, they probably gonna be the same thing again, where the auction house is full of fucking barn find cars. It's just a mess. They should obviously just take those out of unique. Because if you're looking for a specific model, man, just get stacked and stacked on barn finds. It's annoying. It's straight up annoying.
To give it a really bland and dev-sounding term.
Which is a really, that's a really interesting way to talk about it, because I guess I didn't factor in the fact that actually getting the kind of barn find rumour to spawn is part of the difficulty. So yeah, in some ways more complex, more fun and more interesting overall. And now with us chatting about that, I've completely forgotten the rest of the.
There are lots of barn finds.
That's what I'm here for, my darling.
We won't reveal them all. We'll keep some Emma secrets, and I guess that I don't know what other questions you asked, but yeah, that's.
I think that's good. I think we've got a good answer there.
Yeah.
Come back for another stream if you want us to answer the second half of that question, my dear. The next question does come from Even One, who says, how close can you make the game feel like a sim, or do you consider it to still drive as an arcade/simcade-like game? Sorry if you've answered this already.
Yes, that's for me.
It is for you. Shall I? Do you want to direct me to that screen you want to show people?
Yeah.
Is it in there?
Yeah, no.
Oh, you can.
Can I pick that?
Yeah, go on. If we can bring up the feed again, Marco has some steering wheel nerd stuff to show people.
Yeah.
So here we go. Take a look at this.
It's a nice intro.
This is the way I was driving, so yeah, AB.
Okay, so same stuff. Difficulty hasn't really changed the menus. There's nothing added in there.
Yes, it's still
kind of
on,
expected.
But the steering is simulation. Actually, simulation for me on the steering, it feels much nicer, and yeah, you feel more attached. You feel less, you feel more responsive from the car, and you're more in control with the car. Traction control off just because it's more fun, and shifting manual just because don't really have a shift over here for now. But let's go through the new slider that we've added, so you can actually customize the way the force feedback and the steering wheel works.
This is
So
the
we've
meat and the
added
potatoes
down
here.
at the bottom.
So we got steering axis outside dead zone, linearity. So it's the same stuff here. Good.
Let's go save. Continue. Settings. I think there you go. Now I'm in with the steering. There you go. So
Wheel dampener scale.
as we're turning, we always have the
Same
force
stuff,
feedback
the
scale,
center
the center
spring scale.
the damper scale. That hasn't changed at all. But we now changed the way the mechanical trail. So this one actually allows you to tune up or down the suspension component of the force feedback, so you can feel more at the back end or the front end. It depends what you like, depends what you're doing. If you're drifting, just go up. And then we actually added the minimum force. Now the minimum force basically enhances a little bit the lateral force from the tires, so you feel a lot more, especially in the center point of the steering wheel. Then we have the load sensitivity, so you can tune up or down the maximum lateral force that gets sent to the force feedback, so you feel more force when you're at the peak of the grip. But ultimately, the road feel actually is split into two parts. Is the road feel for when you're on an asphalt, and off-road feel for wherever you are off-road. So you can really go down and tune every single aspect of the driving experience on the steering wheel.
Blimey, that's very intense. I hope that answered your question, even one. I think I was.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's a pretty good thing. I will say I think it probably will differ per wheel that you have. Obviously, they gave this man the best of the best. You know what I mean? The best that they have on hand, most likely. I guess it'd be different because, you know, when I was tuning wheel on Horizon 4 there, and especially in the last videos, you could see that I'm having a massive struggle with it because there's like another layer. The TMX is another layer that's there too. You gotta not just adjust these settings, but you have to adjust settings that are outside as well. So I think it also depends what wheel you also have as well. They should have probably talked about that too, but I guess they're not talking about the PC stuff. This is definitely console, obviously. But it's gonna be a little bit different, I guess, for PC users for sure. So this is all great though. I think they're definitely done something here to and going back, I want to go back to that bit where you talked about the drifting there, the mechanical trail. You talked about the mechanical trail. Talk about that. Okay. So this is the new setting they added here. This sets the mechanical trail aligned torque, which balances the mechanical contribution to the force feedback on your steering wheel. The larger this value, the less prominent the loss of traction will be in understeer. Lower the values, provide more prominent understeer feeling. Okay. So you know I think, you know what, this might actually, speaking about the understeer problem, because we had that off the bat. That was a serious issue, I think, going in from Horizon 3, and I have multiple videos on this on the channel on that. This was a serious issue, I think, going from Horizon 3 to 4, was when I tried to apply same settings I did in Horizon 3, especially trying to do, it felt like you know, I would try to throw it into a corner, try to get the back end to slide. Either I was trying to weight transfer or whatever. And it felt like literally what I was doing nothing. Like absolutely, I was turning the wheel almost nearly all the way, and I was full mash on the throttle and wasn't getting anything out of it, and I was just going straight in the wall. You know what I mean? It just didn't feel right in comparison to Horizon 3, where I would just, you know, kind of do a little bit of this motion, and I would get immediately, the tail would kick out, the weight transfer would just a little bit of a wiggle, and it would go. But if I even the slightest amount I was doing in Horizon 4 wasn't doing anything at all, I was just going right into the damn wall and nothing was happening. It felt like it was just complete understeer. And that was the weird part that I'll never forget about that. So I think that will probably help that part for sure. I hope that's what that part is fixing. I really do. I hope. And most likely is, because he was just, you know, talking about the drifting bit. So I hope that in that case, and of course, Noah, you've mentioned to me that, you know, in Horizon 4, to kind of get into a drift started, you want to kind of start off small. I noticed that in your video that you talked about that. Talk about starting off kind of small and letting it go out. You know, obviously it depends how your output is, your dead outside zone, your outside zone is. Because I had some pretty weird numbers the way I did it, and obviously my wheel rotation angle was slightly different too. I probably had it at 5. I think by the end of it I had by 570. By the end of Horizon 3, I didn't have a full 900 rotation to it, so those all have different. They all play into effect. So yeah. I hope that fixes those issues. I'm pretty sure it more than does. I don't know. I won't have a new wheel for quite a bit, but going back to this is good news. Good stuff to hear, because for all of us who are drifting and everything else, it's good to see that there's definitely putting some effort here for the wheel settings. So very very good, very good. I'm very curious to see what this is like.
Added the minimum force. Now the minimum force basically enhances a little bit the lateral force from the tires, so you feel a lot more, especially in the center point of the steering wheel. Then we have the load sensitivity, so you can tune up or down the maximum lateral force that gets sent to the force feedback, so you feel more force when you're at the peak of the grip. But ultimately, the road feel actually is split into two parts. Is the road feel for when you're on an asphalt, and off-road feel for wherever you are off-road. So you can really go down and tune every single aspect of the driving experience on the steering wheel.
Beans.
Blimey, that's very intense. I hope that answered your question, Even One. I think I was blooming brilliant. And the last question from chat that we will share before we dive into the Dear Forza ones, and I can't believe I'm going to say this name on stream, but here we go, everyone. Big Chungus wants to know.
That is a really complicated question, because we have completely overhauled.
Oh my god.
Servers work. So whereas in
But at this point, she didn't have to answer that question, but I guess the question was so good to the point that it just overrides the fucking, user's name. Oh my god, it's hilarious.
You would connect to a server with
Oh my god.
other players to make
Big Chungus has a question.
It's different now. You actually connect to everyone at the same time. And I didn't rehearse a good answer for describing how this fairly complicated system works. But it's much more MMO-like, so everyone now connects to the same server, and as you're traveling around, you'll be much more likely to run into people much more often. Everywhere feels, or as appropriate, places feel more packed full of people. We can tune how likely it is that you bump into other people based on whether an area should feel full of life, like a city, or it's out in the jungle where we might to tune down that density of players. So we're able to now, so everyone connects to the same server, and as you move around, you'll be bumping into people all of the time. You can team up with people, and you'll lock together and make sure that you always stick together, as we did earlier when we were playing in co-op. But as you're moving around the world, much like in an MMO, you'll be constantly bumping into different people all over the world.
Lovely. That's a brilliant answer. Well done for not rehearsing that one, Mike. Smashed it. These questions now come from our Dear Forza request over on Twitter, which, if you have missed it, make sure you go follow the social channels now, as we said, for the car list as well. So the first question comes from Roby, who asks, is there a radio station in Spanish? Just like in Forza Horizon 2, we had one in Italian, and they loved it, by the way.
Did you want to take that one, or should I take that one?
I can't take it.
Sorry, Mike. So the question was about there being, is there a radio station in Spanish, as we had in Forza Horizon 2, and having different language radio stations? And the answer is we have a huge kind of Mexican influence across the radio stations. We don't have an entirely kind of Mexican radio station, but we have music all across.
It won't be like GTA San Andreas, GTA 5.
Throughout, and we also have
EFM or ECFM or something like that.
Kind of talk about her a bit more.
Mexican American Angelica Garcia. She is one of the artists on Horizon Nexus, and she is also the DJ of that station as well.
Man.
So yeah, every single station has music of the Mexican diaspora infusing it, but there isn't a dedicated Mexican station.
Brilliant. I love that. I think that's really cool. The next question now, chat, you're going to be set on fire here. It's the one you all want to know. All right, everyone sit down, strap yourself in. So Bjork Et wants to know, will we be able to experience the diverse atmosphere of Mexico with a demo?
So whilst we are dedicated to building the biggest and best Horizon game ever, we will not be releasing a demo.
Whoa! That's risky. Oh shit. Okay. That's a bit of a shot in the dark. They're not releasing a demo. Okay.
Loads more info on the game over these streams over the coming months, and whether you're playing on Xbox, on PC, on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox One X, we will be releasing footage of all of those in the
My earbuds are gonna die.
But for those people who do want to get
searching for a stereo earphone,
then it will be on Game Pass.
One is getting disconnected.
On day one.
Perfect. Wonderful. So the next question comes from Don Jawan Song, who I've seen in chat on Twitter.
Don
and in
Jawan
chat
Song?
with us. And they've said, A, in the VIP pass, one of the items you get is called vanity items. What exactly is a vanity item? And B, they want to know if they can appear on the show and create events using Event Lab, #worth a shot.
Here we go.
So yeah, in VIP it does come with some vanity items. That is some exclusive clothing, emote. I think there's a car horn as well. More details on exactly what that is later. There was again another multi-layered question there from Don Juan.
They're good at this.
Yeah, it's a bit cheating really.
Oh, you better answer, Don Jawan.
Yeah, I guess so. Reach out to us. Yeah, we could probably get you on. That feels like it'll be really fun. Can you make some stuff in Event Lab? Sure, yeah. Everybody is obviously welcome to create some stuff in Event Lab. One of the cool things we'll be doing this time
It's a good question for him because he does a lot of radical stuff there. I know that for a
all
fact.
players through the festival playlist. So when people make amazing experiences, races, game modes, we will then package those up and then deliver them to everybody else. So that as well as the cool stuff that we make, the cool stuff that you guys make can get delivered to everybody as well, so that you can share it with the world.
Wonderful. Okay, the next question from Twitter comes from
Don Jawan, famous person.
Skippy4631. I forgot my numbers then, sorry. It says, hey, what are kudos going to be used for? Are kudos going to be like Forzathon points?
No, Forzathon points still exist. That is still what you get for completing Forzathon challenges. Kudos are a social currency which you can earn for being one of the very coolest and socialist people in the Forza community. There's a bunch of opportunities where you help other players out that you can give someone a kudos. One of the examples is in Link. If I'm searching for a barn find and I'm in that barn find area trying to find it, then I might get Link the option to say, hey, does anyone know where
Power
this barn is?
off?
I can press that and then
Oh, one of my earbuds died.
And he'll go, yeah, I know where it is.
Fucking things.
That gives me a clue on my map as to where it is. And because he's helped me out, I can go, thanks, using Link, and then it'll give...
I can still hear it on my right ear, so it's good.
Oh,
My left
nice.
one died.
Related to that, on that barn find one, once I've discovered that barn, a new feature is gift drops. So once I've gone and collected that really cool barn find and I'm waiting for it to be restored, I can then go and create a barn find of my own using that empty barn. So I can take one of the cars from my garage, I can paint it, I can apply an upgrade preset, and then I can package it up and deliver it as a gift to another player, maybe someone who's just joined the game.
Oh.
And then when that person receives it, maybe they think, that was really cool, that guy's really nice, I'll give him a kudos. And then I get one kudos point as well. So it acts as this kind of social currency that rewards players for doing really cool things for each other within the community.
Oh, that's lush. I love that. Very nice. Okay, next question comes from Bastian Harney, who says, hello. My question is about the props we can place in Events Lab. Are there racing theme props, like maybe curbs or similar things? That would be really nice for us racing nerds who want to make nice tracks for track days.
Yes, Bastian Harney, there are. So we kind of first dabbled in this stuff in Super 7 in Forza Horizon 4.
I put a RB26 in that.
Geared around making like big stupid jumps and stunts. And
2J be a bit
this
wild
time
though.
around we've massively expanded
Also
the number
good,
of
too.
props. I don't know the exact number. Do you know it? Lots.
Not off the top of my head.
Loads, but it does include all of that stuff that internally we call racification, which is a word that we made up to describe all of the stuff that kind of makes a race. So all of the barriers, flags, chevrons, grandstands, all that stuff that turns a bit of road into a race will now be in there that you can go and place yourself to create your own cool races all over the world.
Wonderful. And the last question from Twitter is from Rich Dyer, who says, my 11-year-old son Kai asks, will there be any cutscenes in the game? And a secret second question as well, will there be a definitive ending to the story mode of the game? He's a big fan of the show and would love a shout out. Hello, Kai.
Hello, Kai. That was a very interesting question for an 11-year-old.
Very mature.
Definitive end to the game. I think your dad's added that on, hasn't he?
He's flourished somewhat.
So will there be cutscenes, I think was the question. Yes.
Yes.
The game opens with a really cool cutscene that kind of introduces you to Mexico. There is a cutscene when you arrive at the festival for the first time, which we actually cut out when we ran through it last week. But that introduces you to all of the main characters, such as Ramiro and Haley and Alejandra. And then as you're playing through things like Horizon Stories, Expeditions, there are like 100 more. Yeah, there's loads.
Blow the
there are loads
SR,
more. And
please.
will there be a definitive end to the game?
They removed some of the sponsor tree.
Just heading back to cinematics, we saw some really amazing ones in the expedition that we were running through earlier. If you haven't watched them, rewind and watch the rest of the show because it's really good. Definitive end, I think the real answer is no. There isn't a point at which the game goes kind of roll credits, you've finished. There is the goal of the campaign. We said it's reaching the Hall of Fame. But when you get to that point, there's still loads to do. There's all the accolades, there's loads of content still to complete, and that's before we talk about all of the updates and the new things we'll deliver after the game launches in the way that we've kind of done in the past, all the cool stuff that we add on. So I think, long story short, definitive end, no. Yep,
No
we'll
such
go with
thing.
no.
Yeah, and I would repeat as well, we don't really expect any one person to do all of that stuff. We make probably thousands of hours of stuff, and I think that you should really feel that you just pick your way through that. Pick the things that you love to do. Festival Playlist this time has loads more discovery stuff. There's treasure chests in there and things like that. So even if you're not much of a racer, there's loads of things in there to keep coming back week after week and give you explory things to do in the world, or things like that. So there's something for everyone.
Wonderful. And talking about coming back week after week, that's the end of the show. So you'll have to come back to another one to find out what we're talking about next. You can also keep up with all the latest Forza Horizon 5 news, updates, and details on more Let's Go live streams in the future by following Forza Horizon socials channels. We've said it a couple times. You really should go do it. And please tune into the Forza channels tomorrow for Forza Monthly for all the latest news on the Forza universe. But for now, thanks so much for tuning in for today. We will see you next time. Adios.
Oh, there you guys have it. There's the review here for this. Again, I think the one thing to point out with this is that there's no demo. There's no demo for this. I'm a little bit shocked about that, to be honest. That's really, that's really risky, I guess. I think this would be the first time that Forza is going in like this with no demo release. That is. I don't know how to react to that. It's just fucking ridiculous in my opinion. But they're really just trying to sell. They're just making a trade off. So they're just trying to trade off their stuff with the reviews, the streams they're doing, and stuff like that. Versus having a demo out. That's just that's kind of wow. I don't know what to say about that really. So I can't. I would have loved to actually do. I would have done it. An early recording of I've always done one. I've done one in previous, but I guess what will happen this time, you just have to find out when November hits around and see what the game is like. But this is definitely, I think, more of an encouragement. I think for people who just said, you know what, I don't want to spend $157, $160, and say, hey, you know what, let's just go out and just get the Game Pass, pay $7 or $10 whatever a month, and then see what it's like. Just definitely get it on Game Pass. I would say I think that's the best bet to do. Before you just go blow $160 on Forza, and then you feel like, oh, what the fuck did I get out of this? Sort of thing. So that's the mistake that I'm not doing this year, this time around, because my personal preference of what had happened in previous Forza, I'm not really happy about. So it's I just kind of felt like $120. What did I get out of it, sort of thing. So definitely go ahead and probably get the Game Pass. I would recommend people get the Game Pass instead of just trying to buy the full game. But that's just me. But no demo. So they're really taking a gamble. It's just you're basically gambling your money on this. You really are gambling your man. You're really gambling your money. It's you really $160. Is this going to be a good game? In your opinion, is this in your expectation? Will this be a good game? And it's really just gambling at this point. So without the demo especially, it's just really just gambling. Shot in the dark. So definitely Game Pass is better. It's better to, I think, gamble your $14 a month, play it for a month, play as much as you can for a month, and then just whatever. That's what I'm basically going to do. It's Casa marketing for no demo. God damn. Yeah. Oh my god. I don't know, man. I think I'm a lot more content with this stream than I was last time. I definitely put Forza on the grill last time, and I don't feel bad for it, to be honest, because I'm just being honest, right? But this is definitely good to see this. I really did appreciate the wheel settings. That's really good that they finally did that. Me and Noah were wondering where's the wheel settings, and then they finally gave us the wheel settings. So I'm really happy to see that. They gave us a nice good leak about the cars, so the cars were great. I don't see a lot there off the bat. Nothing really new off the bat, in my opinion. So that's not really, phenomenal. But I guess they'll probably leak out the cars on Instagram or Twitter like they said they will. They'll probably just leak them out as they go along. But no demo, and that's just kind of how it is. So we're just gonna have to wait until November and see how it's gonna be like, I guess. So, yeah. I have my volume on. Yeah, game sales. I really feel like they're just. Yeah, this is definitely. You know what? Maybe this is definitely something they're gonna do, like just kind of innovative wise of gaming in the future, like in general. Like just this is just a footnote in general. I feel like games are probably gonna just not put out demos anymore. Maybe it's a cost effective thing. I don't know. It's like, well, fuck putting out demos. It's just freaking rely on Game Pass. You know what I mean? Just do that. Maybe this is what they're gonna do. They're just gonna kind of. So I guess the demo, not the demo in a way, but I guess they want to want some money from you first, sort of thing. They want to see a little bit of money from you first, at least, before you go ahead and get a demo. Because it's like, well, you play a demo, you're not buying the game, sort of thing. And it's like, well, you've already lost. They've already lost the profit there, right? So I guess they just want to get your money first and say, hey, let's go get them on Game Pass. You know what I mean? So that's definitely what's going to happen with this. So this is it's odd. So yeah, I mean, definitely gonna get it on Game Pass. I'll try to supply as much content as I can. I'm gonna be shooting a lot of videos out of it, obviously, like I have been in previous Forzas. I'm gonna, do as much of my vibe if I can with it, and of course critique it as I go along. But we'll see what happens with this. Definitely awkward with no demo. Definitely awkward. But I don't know. Well, we'll just keep a listen on Instagram and then see what happens. Twitter. See if they release any cars that really catch my attention. I haven't seen anything. I mean, the dually F350, that sort of caught my attention a little bit, because you know what, that's great. Now we're getting trucks with dualies now, and it was kind of a at the end of Horizon 4 there, the DLC for Hot Wheels there. We did see a dually car. They have a dually hot rod on the option there. So that I guess it was definitely a leaked sort of follow up to this, because it's like, hey, we're gonna do dualies now. We're finally gonna do dualies. So I'm happy to actually see that. And I did like the tire sound effects. I will have to go back to the previous stream. I really did like the tire sound effects that I did notice about that. There's a new tire sound effects in there, and I kind of really like that. So. Definitely, there's definitely some polishing, a lot of polishing being done, as we also saw with the guy talking about the wheel settings as well. I think that Marco did a phenomenal job there. I have to give him a lot of credit with that. He deserves the full credit for that. Did a phenomenal job talking about the wheel, so good job to him. Because that answers pretty much our side of the questions about the wheel settings, and I think that pretty much answers for the more adapted elite players who've been playing this a lot longer. So that definitely is a good thing that he did that. Really appreciate that. If I can get this night stalking job soon, I'm buying the full thing. Early access and all that. I mean, man, like, I'm just saying, like, for me, it's just like, it'd be $150. It's not like I can afford it. I can more than afford it. But the problem is it really worth it in the long run, right? In my opinion, it's just, I don't know. For me, I'm just pissed off with Forza. That's just what it is. I need to see a fucking DeLorean. Forza, I need to see it. I want a fucking DeLorean. That's just me, okay? Like, I need that. I need to see that. I mean, that would be a big sales pitch to me. That they're answering you're fulfilling my sort of thing with that. And I guess that's kind of a selfish remark saying that, because, well, what about everybody else sort of thing? Well, yeah, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, I want to see a fucking DeLorean, because you guys have it in the mobile series, but you guys don't have it in the game. So you have the license. Don't be pulling shit with me. You guys have the license. Where's the fucking DeLorean? I want the DeLorean. That's what it is. That's what it is. You know what I mean? But, like I said, I paid $120 last time, and looking at what I got at the very end of it, and looking where it ended off, me trying to fight off for a Firebird, fighting for all these cars, that, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not really worth my money. It's like, what are we entitled for the full price of $170? Really, what are we with tax, right? What are we entitled for? You know what I mean? Am I gonna suffer the same amount of effort with that? Am I gonna not get every single car out of it? Am I gonna be missing cars by the end of it? That's just kind of like the very end of the most value of every dollar to that $150, $160. That's what I'm saying with that. Because we all know that previous Forzas paying full price basically entitled you for almost every single thing in the game. And the fact of the matter is that this last time in Horizon 4 it didn't. It's kind of like, well, you know what I mean? It's just kind of a fuck. Like, really, I should have gotten that sort of thing with that money, with the money I paid for. So, you know what I mean? Diesel, yeah. I mean, you know what? That's another thing too. We should be able to see diesel engines eventually. Like, there's no talk about engine swaps. No talk about. It probably is the same old thing. There probably is no common swaps. I want common swaps. That'd be cool to have, but probably there aren't going to be anything this year for that. I doubt it. But you know what I mean? Like $170, man. That definitely not worth it in my opinion. With all the way I just right out the bat, I have to see the full pack. This time around, I want to see the full package before I go in like that. I'm definitely gonna be buying it in like freaking half off or whatever when it goes on sale. If the game gets any better, right? That is. But that's just the way I feel about it. But I want a DeLorean. Okay, I really want a DeLorean. I want a DeLorean because I want to slide that bitch around. All right. Well, I think that's it. I think that's about it for the stream. I could probably keep ranting about this all day if I want to. But if you guys have anything else to say in the chat box, I'll probably just watch it over. Speeder's probably going to say beans. Probably, most likely. There was 62 sponsors in the tree on Torque Drift. Now there's 52. Wow, I wonder why they took them out. Yeah. Overall, I really do like this episode. This was great. You know what I mean? Like, definitely later, Tio. Who did they lose? Yeah, take care, Noah. So, again, really good overall stream. I'll probably keep this stream up just because I didn't grill Forza as much. I'm grilling them now, but just because of sake of my opinion, that's what it is. But, you know, definitely, I'm a research. Yeah, I'm a research, bro. Yeah, for real. But we're gonna have to wait till November. No demo. You know, that's about it. All right, guys. I'm gonna head off here. But I'm your host T70. Take care. Thanks for watching. I appreciate everyone for showing up. I'll leave the stream up. You know, we'll see what happens. Hope I don't get like flagged for doing this. I don't think I will or anything like that. I doubt it. But I don't really have. I don't know. I've been getting this thing of like, do you have permission to stream Forza stream or whatever? But a lot of people do this in general. Stop Train does it, but I don't know if he's got. He's approved to do that. I'm not too sure how that works, and I don't want to get in trouble for streaming over a stream, right? But it's definitely worth. I'll leave it up for a good 24 hours, see what happens, and you know, see if I don't get in trouble for this. But I'm your host T70. Take care. Good stream, Forza overall. Marco, you did a good job. If for happen to reason ever see this, they probably never will. But good job, Marco. Absolutely appreciate your detail going into the wheel settings. Absolutely amazing. But overall, you'll have to wait till November, I guess. And then the more streams come up, I'll definitely keep doing this sort of thing. We'll definitely keep doing reviews over this. But I'm your host, T70. Take care. Have a good afternoon. And catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.